Welcome back to another episode of Koi's Bistro, and today we are making gumbo, but we do have a few errors, and if you stick around, you'll find out why. Starting off, I'm going to fry up my beef sausage that I sliced on the axis, and that's my first error because the last time I made gumbo, I used beef kielbasa, which produced a little bit more flavor than the smoked. While the sausage is cooking, I'm going to season both sides of my chicken breast with seasoning salt. Just keeping it simple for right now. Moving on to our shrimp, we're going to season that with a little bit of Creole seasoning. I'm using Tony, but of course you can use either Tony's or Slap Your Mama seasoning. Give that a good mix, and then we're going to let that sit and marinate for a few minutes. Alright, and our sausage is looking good, so we're going to give that like one last stir and scoop those out and prepare to move on to the next step. Once our sausage has been removed from the pot, we're going to add 1 stick of butter and let that mingle with a little bit of the fat that exuded from our sausages, because now we are about to prepare our roux. Our butter is melted, so to that we're going to add 1 cup of flour because now we are going to get started on our roux. Give that a good mix, and you want that to come to like a dark caramel color or even like the color of rust, which should take about 10 minutes to reach that mark, but just continue to stir so it does not clump up. You want everything to be velvety smooth. Now this color is perfect for me, but of course you can go darker if you want that authentic Louisiana gumbo. To that, we are going to add our trinity, which are the diced onions, bell pepper, and celery. Give that a good mix until it is fully coated with your roux, and then we'll be moving on to adding our stock. It's time to add our stock, and just to let you know, for my stock, I used 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon powder along with the shells from the shrimp that we'll be using in this gumbo. I wanted to bring as much seafood essence to it as possible. And as you can see, I'm adding the stock little by little because I don't want to shock the roux per se. I want everything to be incorporated, mixed thoroughly. So once it gets to this consistency, you'll see I'm adding a little bit more, and just going to follow those steps until you used up all the stock. And y'all, please don't mind my voice. I'm battling some severe allergies, but you know what? This gumbo right here is the perfect cure. It has the heat, the flavor, and the heartiness to just warm your soul and make you feel so much better. So that's what I need. Alright, all of our stock is added, so we're going to give this a nice thorough mix, and then we're going to start layering with more seasoning. Alright, now we're going to hit our mix with some garlic powder, and as you can see, I already did a layer, but I didn't get that on camera, so we're adding more. Can't go wrong with garlic. Next up, onion powder, and follow that up with our Creole seasoning once more. We're going to mix all our seasonings in and then let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll get ready to add our meats. Okay, our chicken will be the first into the gumbo pool because it's going to take the longest to cook. So we're going to get that in there, and we're going to mix it up so that way it doesn't stick together. Let that cook for about 10 to 15 minutes before following up with all the other meats. Now we're going to place our sausage back into the gumbo mix. Of course, you could let it cook and sit in there. You could even put it in a pan before you do the chicken because you do want to extract as much of the smoky flavor as possible. But as you can see, I added it afterwards, but hey, it still turned out great. After our sausage, we're going to use our crab meat, using the claw meat. But of course, for the real authentic, you use the blue crab, the actual body, the legs. I didn't have that on hand, which is why I'm using the can. And lastly, it is time to add our shrimp. So you want to drop that in, give that one good final mix, and let that cook for an additional 3 minutes. I would say about 3 to 4 minutes because these are colossals that I use. So you want to allow that to really cook through, but don't overcook. Plus, even after we turn the fire off, that residual heat will still carry over. So our food will still be hot as well as safe. And now for the fun part, the plating. So of course I had to be a little extra and be fancy, so I molded my rice and centered it in a bowl, and I'm just surrounding it by all that delicious gumbo. Me personally, I love soup, so I'm gonna give myself a massive amount of gumbo, but to each their own, of course. And y'all probably thinking, Koi, what was wrong with this gumbo? Because it looked perfectly fine to me. It was just, I'm my own worst critic, so it wasn't up to par for me because I know that I can do better. I have done better, but I did get some amazing feedback from it. So you know what? As long as everybody else enjoyed it, then that's all that matters. That makes me happy. Bon appetit. It is time to eat. Thank you all for tuning in and watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.